when you're doing these on the trend changes, here's what we're going to look for this morning. So when you're red green, you chop. Here you're red green. We were chopped yesterday, and then it turned green green. So this is the first V bottom after chop into trend. Okay, I went over this yesterday when I was in the room. The LG2, the liquidity grab buy, it fired on the trade right after this V bottom came into play. Okay, so it ran what, almost 10 points, a little bit over 10 points on the run. So what you do is you want to fire in the trade. The first liquidity grab, so here's how you want to do it. This is what we're looking for now. Here's our V bottom. This is the first liquidity grab with the dual trend filter trend. The live fill was 57.25, and it ran over high as what, 69 on the run. This is the first liquidity grab with trend after chop market. So it's chop yesterday. It's the same scenario right now at 2 o'clock. Turn it on. That's the run we got. Okay, so now if you look right now, what's going on with the market, let's see if we get a liquidity grab here. Right now we were chopped. Same thing as yesterday. Look at it. We were chopped. Red, green. That's chop. And then we turn into, here's your chop. Same thing that happened yesterday. And it went into trend, green, green. And then we got our first liquidity grab buy. So if we break through this high of 60.40, the market should pull us in for a LG2 long. So this is where you turn on the LG2 trader. Let it manage your entry, stop, and targets. Takes the emotion out of trading. We're looking for a trending market right now. Just like yesterday, it went from chop, which is red-green, into trend, which is green-green. So now we're entering a trend. Right now, entering a trend. So we're looking for the LG2 to fire in like yesterday. First V bottom after chop. So right now, here's your V bottom, just like yesterday. There's your V bottom. Is it a strong retracement? Sweet spot trade, no, because it didn't hold above my inner dots. But it still is a liquidity grab trade. So if we break 40, it's going to pull in the strategy. See if we can get some movement. But it's the same scenario that happened yesterday before the market ran 10 points. Same exact scenario. We just turned right there. You went from chop, which is red-green. Trend filter was red-green. Turned to green-green. First liquidity grab. LG2 was live fill was 60.57.25. Ran as high as 69. So that's what we want to try to do. Okay. We want to see if they're going to grab liquidity here. There's a distortion in price right now. This distortion in price, if this closes above 40, then we have ourselves a liquidity grab and a possible move higher, breaking through this high to fill this gap. We have a big gap above us. Our gap, our tradable gap is all the way to 50, 51. Price is at 39. We get an 11-point possible run in this market. 11 possible point run. So now we're back into trend. We're trending green, green. We have a distortion in price. We're going into a big gap. We're going to see if they can run this market. All right, 1 second. All right, so we're into trend, chop, into trend, big opening gap to 51. That would be overall target. So the buy stop's going to be right above here, guys. The buy stop should be resting right above this high of 42. Once you break out of 42, this market could cut loose right to 51. Okay, any questions? Now, the updated PDF is sent out to you members on the members download page. Gerald sent that out to everybody. All right, nice gap. There it is. Who's long liquidity grab? Here we go. Who's long the LG2? Targets are hitting. Who's long the LG2? Gary, good job, Vincat. You see how that works, guys? It's the very leading indicator. Turn it on after the V bottom. Stu, do you see how that works? V bottom's coming in, green, green. Let it manage your position. Second, guys. My other ninja trader trying to do something here real quick. All right, so you look for a V bottom with the overall trend direction. V bottom with the overall trend direction, and you can turn on the LG2 to manage your entry, stop, and exit. All right, so let's go to this real quick. We set this trade up. Before it happened. The market was in chop. Take a look. Very simple. Do not make this difficult. We were chop. We were red-green right here. We're red-green. The market was in chop. This is why this dual trend filter works so well. A lot of traders get back their money's in a chop market. And then we went into trend. Green, green. Inner dots are green. Outer zone was green. So we started trending. I said live on the microphone. Actually, we were doing this video. We said after the V bottom, replay the video, begin the video, you'll see it live. I said after this V bottom, look for a V bottom and look for the first liquidity grab. Live on this video, we saw a distortion in price right here. Distortion in price. Right when we got the distortion in price, I said this could be the first liquidity grab where the liquidity grab trader, LG2, will get long. And it did. LG2 got long here. This is the first distortion in price, guys. First distortion in price. LG2 got long. And then targets are hit. All right, so 40.25. High is 40, almost 7, 46.5. All set up by going from chop to a trend market, green, green. We had the first liquidity grab long. First V bottom right here. This is a V bottom with green, green. After the V bottom, we're looking for the first liquidity grab. You can turn LG2 on. So this is your first liquidity grab after a V bottom. And price drove. Now we're in an opening gap. We'll see if we get another V bottom that comes up. Right there it is, V bottom, and here's where LG2, you can turn LG2 on the strategy to automatically get you in on the entry, stop, and targets. LG2, fire there, fills the high of the bar, 40.25, got as high as 46.5. Almost 25 ticks on that push, and it occurred live as we're doing this video. Now what we'll do is we'll look for another V bottom. As long as we don't close below our line in the sand, which is 60.3250, as soon as you get another V bottom, you can turn LG2 on. If you got break even plus one here out at 40 and a quarter, if this is where you got out, break even plus one after the big run, what you can do is you can wait until the next V bottom, turn the software on, and try to get the next runner. That's exactly what happened yesterday. We're walking through this before it even happened. We went from a chop market, red, green. Here's my trend filter, red, green. It doesn't agree. And then it agreed, green, green. This is the first V bottom after chop into trend. The LG2 was turned on after this V bottom. The live fill was 60.57 and a quarter. Got as high as 68 and 3/4, almost 69. Over 10-point potential. Same scenario today. Go replay the video live. Very simple. Same methodology. We were green, red. Green, red. And then we went to green, green into trend. Matched up. We have our outer zone green, inner dots green. Then we have this V bottom that's occurred. As soon as this V bottom comes in, that's when you turn the LG2 on. As soon as it comes in, that's when you turn LG2 on. We saw it come up. Replay this live video. You start seeing a distortion in price right here where they're grabbing liquidity. They brought this current bar was red at the time at the beginning of this video. I said if it closes back above this high, it's going to get long at 40 to 40 and a quarter. It got long at 40 and a quarter live. And price just drove from 828 and to 832. It drove 25 ticks just like that. And the beautiful thing about the LG2 are its fast fills. It filled, it placed your stop for you, it placed the entry for you, it placed your targets for you. Now what are we looking for that again? We're looking for the next V bottom. So then we're looking for the next V bottom to come up here. If this V bottoms again, we got to wait till a V bottoms. We can't turn the software on right now. We want to V bottom like this. You don't want to turn the software on now. You're going to wait until it closes. Then you just click the software on. You can click the software on, and it'll manage the first liquidity grab, like here, LG2. It will take the first liquidity grab with overall trend direction. So that's the next setup we're looking for right now. The neat thing about the liquidity grab trader is it manages your position for you, but the best thing, it takes the emotion out of the trade. So like I said, members, for those of you who want to trade larger Renko charts, replay those settings I put in the updated PDF. I try to make it very streamlined. Some of you guys had questions on how to replay it. You know, I give you some settings, exact settings on the NASDAQ, and also larger Renko sizes, smooth Renko sizes. Replay the S&P exactly with the settings I gave you, an exact NQ, and replay it at your leisure. And you're going to understand how you can trade these larger Renko sizes also. What we use right here is a 1-20-20, a 1-1-20, sorry. That means that this Renko size has 20 ticks. So structure does not break on this trade until we close below that. So that's typically your stop level on this Renko size. Right? What I show the examples in the room is I show a 16 tick stop, which is right up here after entry. A 16 tick stop. But you can use the reversal as your ultimate stop if you want. I I like a shorter stop, so 16. But as long as you hold above the low of this candle, the integrity of the trade is still valid. Right now, here's the next V bottom. There's our second setup coming. Here's the V bottom. Second one. So what it'll do on this second one, we're going to look for a distortion in price. The first distortion in price, the liquidity grab trader will stalk it. Right when we get distortion in price, we'll look for the first liquidity grab because it held above our line in the sand, 32.5. As long as you hold above this line in the sand, you're not going to trend change, guys. You're only looking for buys. So here's the next possible V bottom right here. Possible LG2 on deck. So now we're looking for another possible LG2. The first one is a nice run. Like I said, you can play the beginning of the video. Above this resting high. As soon as that hit that, your targets were off immediately on the strategy. And sure enough, it broke through that high. I said that's where the resting buy stops would be when this was forming. And it broke through. And you cannot do this manually. It's impossible to do this manually. You have to have either have a buy stop in already above this swing high, which works, or you're gonna have to be in the trade when you hit these buy stops because it's fast. It's fast. In a matter of 2 minutes, it hit our targets. Now, spell possible wrong. Now we're looking for the next first LG2. Oh my goodness, spelled it wrong again. There we go. Possible LG2 on deck. So you turn the strategy on and you wouldn't turn it off until what happens? If this closes a red candle, simply click the strategy back off. This is how you have consistency. So when I passed the 150,000 evaluation account and passed the 50,000 Apex evaluation account when I first released the strategy to show traders they can use this strategy to pass evaluations and for funded accounts and so on. It's all about consistency, guys. If you're trading like I just showed this morning, you want to stick with the same exact setup. V bottoms would trend up, V tops would trend down. Let the strategy enter, stop, and hit your targets. That's consistency. If you're using larger Renko sizes to trade a certain period of time, you know, like I updated all you members on the PDF, you got to be consistent about it. Use a certain parameter, but the larger Renkos, you should market replay it. Don't back test it. Don't historical test it. Market replay it. Forward test it to fine tune your settings. So go all the way back to the contract rollover. I started from January 6th in the PDF all the way to today's current date. Do that at your leisure. I gave exact settings so you can see how the larger Renko sizes work on this also, where you don't have to toggle this on and off. You can let it trade for a certain period of time, and that's in the updated PDF on the members download page. So now LG2 is on deck. Here's the second one that's on deck. We do have a distortion in price. Right now, we have a distortion in price. So where's the buy stops? Buy stops going to be above here now. Here's a distortion in price. The LG2 will go long if it closes above 43.25. So I got distortion in price. And we're going to know if they just grab liquidity. So they grab liquidity here live in the video earlier, right? They grab liquidity all the way from 40 down to 30, almost 36.75. And then they brought it back up, closed it, so we know they grabbed liquidity, buy order blocks down there, and they drilled the counter trend traders. Now they're grabbing liquidity again. They're grabbing liquidity again to see if they can bring this market higher. Now the best liquidity grabs is that you're going to break the low of the previous candle. You go, once you make trend change in the next version to replace them, are we going to turn on LG? Yeah, it will only take. So what you can do is I'm putting the zone. So it'll only take the LG2s with zone trend, correct, Venkat? With the toggle switch. You got it. Yep. There's a couple things I'm adding, some bells and whistles I'm adding to this. One, I'm putting a start stop time. Two, a profit and loss shutoff. So you hit a certain profit here, or loss that was shut off. I'm putting the zone trend in to only take V bottoms and V tops with zone trend. And then when you fill, you're going to get your, looks like chart trader. So let's say you have a 16.6 top here, and you have your targets above here. Horizontal lines will come up, and you can drag. So here's your first target. So your stop will be here, let's say. Then you just manage your position as it's going for your targets like it does now. You just drag. Every couple bars back, you're dragging your position up. So that is some extra bells and whistles that you traders wanted that I'm adding to the software also, Venkat. All right, so looking for a LG2 on debt. We're getting a distortion in price again. It is now active. If it closes above 44, it will go long. Our resting buy stops will be above this level, should drive price. We now got finally a distortion in price again. LG2 is active. If it closes above here, it will go long again at 44.